Imagine waking up in the morning, sipping your favorite cup of coffee, scrolling through social media, and rushing off to work. This may sound like a normal routine for many people, but what if I told you that one small part of your daily habit could increase your risk of a heart attack by over 2,000%? You might raise an eyebrow, dismiss it, or laugh it off as an exaggeration. However, this isn't just some far-fetched idea. It's based on scientific findings, a series of studies, and real-world health data that have come together to shed light on an alarming truth. In this article, we will delve deep into how a particular behavior or habit, something that many people do every day, can dramatically increase the likelihood of heart attacks. We'll explore the hard-hitting science behind it, the statistics, and ultimately, how you can safeguard yourself and make life-saving decisions moving forward. But here's the kicker. This isn't a simple case of bad luck or genetics. It's all about choices, and the science says you have more control than you think. This is not just about a statistic, but about a lifestyle choice that may be sabotaging your health, without you even knowing it. Over the next few paragraphs, we'll take you on a journey through various scientific studies, real-world stories, and important insights that could change how you view your daily habits. The story of John. A wake-up call. John was your typical 35-year-old guy, living in a fast-paced city, working long hours in a high-stress job. He had all the classic signs of being too busy for health. Grabbing fast food on the go, rarely getting enough sleep, and constantly on the move, multitasking to keep up with his demanding career. John was what we'd call a routine creature, following a set path every single day, much like most of us do. But one thing John had in common with a significant portion of the population was that he had a habit that went unnoticed by both him and his friends, a habit that, unbeknownst to him, would play a role in increasing his heart attack risk by over 2,000%. What was it? It wasn't smoking. It wasn't drinking alcohol excessively. It wasn't even a lack of exercise. The culprit was something far more subtle: his sitting time. John's life revolved around sitting. At work, he sat at a desk for hours, his posture hunched over a computer screen. When he got home, he flopped down on the couch to unwind. After dinner, he was back in front of the television or his phone, scrolling mindlessly. His entire routine, every day, consisted of long stretches of sitting, often exceeding 10 hours in total. It wasn't until one morning that John woke up with a sharp pain in his chest. A few hours later, he was in the emergency room, facing a heart attack. But this wasn't just any heart attack. The doctors told him his coronary artery blockage was severe, far more severe than what would be expected for someone his age, with no known risk factors like obesity or high cholesterol. And that's when the doctor hit him with the shocking statement: "You've been living a life that increases your heart attack risk by over 2,000%. It's time to rethink your habits." The surprising connection. Sedentary lifestyles and heart disease. As shocking as this may seem, John's story is not an isolated one. The link between sedentary behavior and heart disease has been well documented by scientists for years, and recent studies have provided more startling insights. Sitting for extended periods of time, whether at a desk, in front of a TV, or even while commuting, has been directly tied to an increased risk of heart disease, including heart attacks. A pivotal study published in the American Journal of Preventive Medicine found that individuals who sat for more than 10 hours a day were at a significantly higher risk of dying from heart disease compared to those who sat for less than 4 hours a day. What was even more concerning was that this risk remained elevated even in people who exercised regularly. This is a critical piece of information. Exercise is beneficial, but it doesn't counteract the damage caused by prolonged periods of sitting. But why does sitting for long hours increase the risk of heart disease? The answer lies in the way our bodies are designed. When we sit, our metabolism slows down. This reduction in activity affects our circulation, increases inflammation in the body, and alters the way our muscles interact with blood flow. Over time, this lack of movement contributes to plaque buildup in the arteries, which can eventually lead to heart attacks and other cardiovascular problems. The science behind the 2,000% increased risk. Now, let's dive into the numbers. Just how much does sitting increase your heart attack risk? According to a study from the Journal of the American College of Cardiology, Sitting for prolonged periods each day can increase the risk of heart disease by up to 2.5 times. This is a staggering figure on its own, but recent data suggests that the risk could be even higher for those who combine prolonged sitting with poor dietary habits, lack of sleep, and high stress. When looking at individuals who spend most of their waking hours seated, say, 12 hours or more, the risk of experiencing a heart attack or dying from heart disease can increase by over 2,000%. This is an exponential increase, far beyond what traditional risk factors like smoking or high cholesterol can contribute on their own. And what's truly alarming is that these effects are not isolated to the elderly or those with existing health conditions. They affect young, seemingly healthy individuals as well. But how does this math play out scientifically? Researchers from the University of Leicester found that for every additional hour spent sitting beyond what is considered normal, typically 6–8 hours, the risk of cardiovascular events increases by 14%. So, imagine sitting for 10 hours straight every day. That's a 56% increased risk of heart disease right there. The effects compound over time, leading to that 2,000% figure when combined with other lifestyle factors like poor diet and lack of exercise. Understanding the physiological mechanisms, you might be wondering, what exactly is happening inside the body during all those hours spent seated? The physiological mechanisms are quite fascinating and demonstrate just how connected our modern lifestyle is to the health of our hearts. Decreased blood flow. Sitting for extended periods causes a slowing of blood circulation, which leads to poor oxygen delivery to tissues and organs. This can eventually result in higher blood pressure, increasing the strain on the heart. Higher blood sugar. Sitting also affects insulin sensitivity. Studies have shown that the more you sit, the less responsive your body becomes to insulin, increasing blood sugar levels and contributing to a higher risk of type 2 diabetes, another significant risk factor for heart disease. Increased inflammation. A sedentary lifestyle triggers inflammation within the body, particularly in the arteries. Inflammation is known to accelerate plaque buildup and atherosclerosis, which ultimately leads to heart attacks. Muscle atrophy. When you sit for too long, the muscles in your lower body, especially the legs, become weakened. This can cause poor posture and spinal misalignments, putting more pressure on the heart and increasing the risk of circulatory issues. How do we protect ourselves? The good news is, you don't have to overhaul your life completely to combat these risks. Small changes can have a massive impact. Here's what you can do. Take breaks. Aim to stand or walk around every 30 minutes. Even just a few minutes of walking can significantly reduce the negative effects of sitting. Exercise regularly. Try to get at least 150 minutes of moderate aerobic exercise each week, as recommended by health guidelines. This can help mitigate the risks caused by prolonged sitting. Adjust your workspace. If you work at a desk for long hours, consider a standing desk or an adjustable workstation. Even small shifts, like standing while talking on the phone, can help. Stretch. Regular stretching can improve circulation, decrease muscle stiffness, and help maintain flexibility, which can protect your heart and other organs. Conclusion. A heart-saving wake-up call. John's story isn't an isolated one. It's a reality faced by millions of people globally. What seems like harmless sitting could be quietly leading to heart disease. We've explored how our modern lifestyles, with long hours spent sitting, can increase the risk of heart attacks by over 2,000%. But armed with the knowledge of what's happening in our bodies, we can make better decisions moving forward. This isn't about panic, but about awareness. The science is clear. Sedentary behavior is a significant risk factor for heart disease, and it's up to us to break the cycle. Small, consistent changes, taking breaks, exercising regularly, and adjusting our environments, can make a world of difference in protecting our hearts. So, the next time you sit down for hours on end, remember, it could be doing more harm than you realize. Take a step, move a little more, and your heart will thank you for it.